And we're back. All right, Dave, let's get into the top gaming news of last week. And we have to start with the big news coming out of Ubisoft.
Oh,
they've officially delayed, again, for the sixth time, Skull and Bones. And canceled 3 unannounced games, which if you're keeping score, since July of last year, they've now officially canceled like 6 or 7 games, right? Because they canceled Ghost Recon Frontline, they canceled Splinter Cell VR, and they canceled 2 more unannounced games last summer. So so it's about 7 games altogether they've canceled. And
I forgot about Splinter Cell VR.
Yeah. Well, the point is, I mean, the biggest news is, remember, Skull and Bones was supposed to come out and be the trilogy of Skull and Bones, Sonic Frontiers, and God of War Ragnarok in those 2 days. Yeah. Well, after this announcement, their stock prices just plummeted. So if you want to buy some Ubisoft stock, this is the time to get it while it's cheap.
You know what all this says to me? It's buyout time, baby. Somebody's gonna get in there. They got good properties. They got great licenses. The IP is 100%. And I don't know what's going on. I guess their financials aren't great. Maybe the games aren't doing so well. But this is like a chance for Sony or Microsoft to step in and buy them up.
They're blaming it just on the state of the industry. I mean, just quoting them from a press release. This is all released in a press release. Major challenges, in the gaming industry continue to shift towards mega brands, long-lasting titles that can reach players across the globe, across platform and business models, right? So over the last few years, the strategy has been to build long-lasting live games, adopting our strongest franchises like Assassin's Creed, Far Cry, Tom Clancy games like Ghost Recon, Rainbow Six, and Division to converging trends to make them truly global brands. That hasn't worked.
So to put that in normal speak, microtransactions suck and people aren't buying them. Because Assassin's Creed Valhalla had a lot of that. The Division was all about that, and their live service games aren't doing as well as they would like to. And it's all dependent on reoccurring transactions, right? You're buying all these little things, materials, whatever, skins, this, that. That's what kind of propels the game forward and allows it to be a live service game, right? And if people aren't doing that, it's just not going to work, right? And if your business model was built around that and the games are built around the budget is what the budget is, they'll go, we'll make it up on the back end with all the, DLC and microtransactions, and they're not doing that. Like, they need to reevaluate how they gauge their games, the success of their games, and how they budget for those games, right? Like a game like God of War, right? There's no microtransactions, right? There's nothing, right? It's a completely single player game, right? You download it, you play it, everything is in world. I don't think you can buy like extra crafting material or anything like that. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't think so either.
Yeah. Yeah. And even if you could, let's go ahead and take a game like Spider-Man, right? Spider-Man, completely single player experience, did very well for Sony, right? The Last of Us, single player experience, did very well for Sony.
Well, I will say, Well, I will say 2 things just to that effect. Like, they definitely want that. They charge you full price for these games initially, right? So it's not like it's a live service game. You go in, it's free to play, and you can buy content, right? That would sort of make a little bit more sense, but you got to spend the $70 or $60 for the game full price. And then on top of that, buy stuff in game, right? Like me and you bought the Division. The game itself, played together. We bought the Division 2, played together, but we never went back in. We never bought extra guns, skins. We never did any of that stuff.
No, it wasn't. It was better than the first one, but still not amazing.
Yeah, and then secondly, they are blaming sales on just sort of a single player experience as well, because Mario and Rabbids Sparks of Hope didn't sell as well as they wanted to. Okay, it didn't hit their projections, so they are blaming low sales of games in 2022. So just as a caveat to what you're saying, as far as with their whole business model, they did put out a single player game and it didn't do so well.
Mm-hmm.
Because Dave didn't buy it. You're contributing to the problem of Ubisoft, Dave.
I mean, listen, the game's got to be good, all right? I'm not just going to buy things to buy things.
So Hope is good. Sparks of Hope is a good game.
Sparks of Hope is a great game. I am planning on buying it. I just need to finish my other games. I need to finish Tactics Ogre before I get into another tactics strategy game on my Switch.
Dave. They wanted you to buy it in 2022.
Well,
wanted you to buy it
I'm sorry. You know what? It'll be okay when Sony buys up Ubisoft. They make a race for them, and I'm gonna bet money that that's gonna happen. All right, because
you know what the interesting thing is, if anybody buys them, Microsoft or Sony, right? Like, is Mario plus Rabbids gonna be on Games Pass or PlayStation Plus?
Oh, that'd be awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think that series would be dead. That
Mm-hmm.
series would officially be dead.
Mm-hmm.
But they did sort of say that this year will be 2023 into early 2024 will be an important year for the company. They did tout that they have Assassin's Creed Mirage coming out and Avatar, the new Avatar game coming out. Plus, yeah, but that'll be dead. The series will be dead at that point, right?
Mm.
Like they won't. I don't think Mario. Well, I don't think Mario will ever be on an Xbox system or a Sony system, even through these means.
Oh, so. Well, that's a licensing agreement between Nintendo and Ubisoft. So no, they wouldn't be, because it's a Nintendo product, or it's got Nintendo IP involved in it. So yeah.
No,
but they could do like. No.
We'll see Halo plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope, or Kratos in Rabbids Sparks of Hope.
Right,
we won't see a third one.
Right.
But look, not all is lost. Not all is doom and gloom for Ubisoft. They did say this year is a big year for them. Okay, well, this year going into the beginning of 2024, early 2024.
Okay,
they still have Assassin's Creed Mirage coming out. And they have the new Avatar game coming out, and they have 2 unannounced games that are also going to be released.
Right. Are you excited for the Avatar game at all?
So, I'm not excited for Avatar game.
Okay,
I'm sure they're happy that the movie is doing well, right?
Sure,
potentially push sales.
It's going to be the top grossing movie of all time, even though the previous one, the original Avatar, was the top grossing movie of all time until I think Avengers Endgame beat it out.
So they did something petty. So Avengers Endgame beat it out, right? And then
they re-released Avatar in the theaters.
They re-released it, and they put it. I think it was in China. They re-released it in China. A movie that's been out, that was a decade old. They re-released it in China to reclaim the
number one
biggest
spot.
Grossing, the number one spot.
Yeah, that's funny. That's funny. I hate that first movie. It's terrible. It looks pretty. That's about it. Everything else is stupid.
I think it was terrible. I mean, the game was bad.
The game was on the Wii. I mean, come on now. Yeah, I think this new game, it could be cool, but just not interested in the property at all. It's just very uninspired to me. I don't know.
Well, the last thing we saw of Avatar, the new game, it looked pretty good. Like I was kind of interested, but there hasn't been any hype for it lately. Right? Like we haven't seen anything since the first time we saw it. We just know that it's still in development. So I think we need to see some more. We need to see more of it. Right? Give me some plot. What's the point of the game? Right? Well, give me some more gameplay, and maybe I'll get hyped for it. Who knows?
Yeah.
But Ubisoft could be primed for a takeover unless something turns around, right? And keep an eye on this. If Microsoft buying Activision doesn't go through, they may pivot and try to scoop up Ubisoft, which, by the way, I would say I would be more inclined for that, because we could get a new Splinter Cell game and it would be exclusive to the Xbox. It would be just like the old days.
They need to put out a new Splinter Cell game. What are they doing?